Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to practice some resistor identification. So we just went over some of the resistor bands, what we expect from each digit. And so now we're just going to identify our 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 using our color system. So the first band up here is a red one. So we'll circle red, that's a 2. So we expect this first one to be a 2 at the first digit. The second digit is a 0 because it's a black band right here. So we'll put in a 0 for that one. And then the third band is brown. The brown gives us 1, 0 afterwards, so we'll put a 0 in afterwards. Right? And that gives us a 200 ohm resistor, and we see that down here as well. R1 is a 200 ohm resistor, so that's what we expected. R2 starts with a green band, and so we go down to green on the first band, that's a 5, so we expect this first one to be a 5. The next one is a black band, so that's a 0 for our black band, so 5, 0 is our first two digits. The next band is a brown band, so we'll go down to our brown, that's a 1. So we'll have 1, 0 after the first two digits. We'll put a 0 there, right? So that's a 500 ohm resistor, and that's what we expected R2 to be, 500 ohms. The third resistor here is got a myth in front. We will never see this black band in the front, right? That's not how our resistors work. We should see that this is actually going to be floated to the back side. Where we don't have a brown at this one, we would have a black one at the back end. And so in this case, we have a 0 for the first band here, which can't happen. And then we have a blue for the second band here, that's down here on 6. Right? And then the final band has a 1, right? And that's a 1 right here. And so we are assuming that this is wanting to be a 60 ohm resistor, right? But that's not true. It can't represent that large of a number, right? And when we look down to R3, we see that it's actually supposed to be 365. Right, so it doesn't know what to do with that. Where the 5 band, if we look straight across here, the 5 band on the R3 knew exactly what to do with that. It had all 3 of those digits available for it, so it put all 3, 6, and 5 in for that variable value. And so if you want one that has 3 numbers like that, then you would need to move on to your 5 band resistors. The next one, R4, starts off with a brown band. That's a 1 at the beginning. Next one is black, so that's a 0. So we got a 1, 0. And then the last one is yellow. So we have 4 zeros after that. So 0, 0, 0, 0, which means that this is a 100,000 ohm resistor. We see that down here, 100,000 ohms. The fifth band has an R on the first one here, our red for the first one. So that's a 2. A red for the second one, that's another 2. And a purple or a violet for that last one there, and that's going to be 7 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? And that's a very large number, and we see it represented down here in scientific notation, 2.2 e. That's our times 10 to the 08, right? So times 10 to the 8. So if we move this backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and put our decimal point there, we can do that too. 2.2 times 10 to the 8. Very large number. Okay, let us know if you have any questions about color bands.